to meet an Israeli minister in Paris to discuss the recent sectarian violence in Syria's south. According to reports, U.S. Special Envoy for Syria, Tom Barrack, will facilitate these talks. The U.S. brokered talks would reportedly be the first ministerial meeting between the new Syrian authorities and Israel. Reports indicate that Shaibani and Israel's Strategic Affairs Minister Ron Dermer are expected to discuss southern Syria, where deadly sectarian violence earlier this month prompted Israeli intervention. Israel had launched several airstrikes on Syrian government positions in Sweda, a Druze majority province in the country's south, saying it wanted to protect the minority community after sectarian clashes had erupted. Now we go back to our guest discussion with Yossi Cooper-Wasser. He's an Israeli intelligence and security expert. Thank you, Yossi, for staying with us. Now, Syria and Israel is preparing for their first ministerial talks. What do you believe it can be the objective of both sides for this historic meeting?
Well, we have to understand that we have a lot of common interest with the current Syrian regime. We have some concerns and suspicions about its intentions, but at the same time we have common interests. First of all, both of us want to make sure that Iran doesn't reappear in the Syrian scene and that is kept out of it, and this is the most important interest of Israel and also of Mr. Shara. Secondly, we want to make sure that Syria is not being used by the Iranians and their surrogates in order to deliver weapons to Hezbollah in Lebanon. And this is something, again, that we both share the interest in this context. So this is going to be discussed. Beyond that, we want to see stability and security in Syria, and we want to make sure that the minorities are safe, especially the Druze sect. That is, we have some commitment to the Druze because they fight now in our military, and they are part of Israel. The Jews in Israel are part of Israel, and they have very close relationships with the Druze in Syria, and that causes us to show some commitment to their safety and well-being. And we want to make sure that this is respected also by Shara. What he says is always saying that he's committed to that, but he's not always doing what he's saying that he's committed to. So we have to make sure that his mouth and his heart are in the same place, and his hands are in the same place. And that's something that we want to see as a result of this meeting. We had clashes with the Syrians in the last week because there was a massacre against the Druze in their area, as you mentioned, the area of Sweda. And we had to take action in order to clarify to the Shara regime that we should not tolerate such a situation. And I think the message was well received and led to some sort of ceasefire that is not very well kept, but at least it's much better. The situation is much better than what it was when the massacre was going on. And, this was became possible because of the intervention of Israel. That we also let the forces of Shara go down to the south and secure the ceasefire. And we are going to speak with him also about the need to make sure that no forces that are hostile to Israel are going to be deployed in the southern part of Syria, just adjacent to our border. And I think he understands it and he accepts it. And I think this is going to be agreed upon between us and the Syrians in those discussions. So there's room to believe that we can make some progress in establishing understandings with the government in Syria.
Yes.
We have also to remember that the Americans are very much interested in seeing that happening, so they are going to invest in that.
Yes. Thank you very much, Yossi Cooper-Wasser, for sharing that insight and staying